All right. Hmm. Let's see if this is up. Microphone's good. All right. You guys should be able to hear me okay. If anyone's watching right now. Let's see. A little bit of a delay. There we go. Cool. And it is up. What is up, guys?
Check, check. You guys hear me okay now? I hope so. I don't know what was going on just now. Oh boy. Can you guys hear me okay now? We should be good now. I got a, thank you, Katie. Yeah, I got a Blue Yeti mic, and it's been getting on my flipping nerves. So anyway, no, okay, so guys, what I was trying to say was that I had a subscription service on my Instagram. Thank you, Gloria. Had a subscription service on my Instagram. I still do. And I have at least one person on there that is continuing to give. And so I'm trying to put something on there because I can't force them to come off unless I like block them or something. And I don't want to do that either because then they'll think they did something wrong. You see how this whole look being a content creator, they, I don't know. I'm not a fan of Meta. I'm really not. I don't like how they do things. But my point in bringing all this up is I don't feel comfortable teaching demonology and charging for it. Or if I am going to charge for it, I'm going to charge like a minimal price, like $5 or less, like $5 a head or less. And that brings me to my next point is we're going to be going over, his name is Beardo. Beardo gets scared, and he's a paranormal investigator. And a lot of what he does is he shuts down BS channels that try to act like they're ghost hunting and they're not really ghost hunting. And he shows like why or how they are faking it. And so he signed up for a class that was like $14.99 or something like that. And we're going to be going over it with him. And because he paid for it and he's going to break down everything. And then I'm going to kind of go along with him and give you little details here and there. We're going to just react to him, have some fun. Let's see. Did you see it? They opened the Olympics with a seemingly serious prayer to Zeus and Apollo earlier today. Fish, yeah, Daddy Falcor. No, I did not see that. Well, why don't we take a look at that? Yeah. Why don't we take a look at that? Autodesk access. My son keeps getting on here and messing with things. And I wish I could tell you why he's doing that. He says, what now? Olympics. Rare. Is it the flame lit whatever? What does it say? Olympic flame lit in Olympia signaling start of torch relay?
This is always a very magical moment.
Now let's figure out why I can no longer hear in my headphones. I love technology so much. Power on. Power on. I should be hearing you okay. Yeah, we're going to be reacting to that in a moment. How's everyone doing in the chat? Falker? Yeah, I'm going to be pulling that up. I have it up, but I would like for you guys to hear it, preferably. Bluetooth and other device settings. Yes, I would prefer the sound to come through my headphones, please. Like how it's supposed to. Every time I get on here, there's something new. Maybe I'll try connecting and disconnecting. Oh.
Official Olympic flame lighting ceremony will concentrate an earthquake.
Work. Found it. No, I don't want my speakers to go through my Yeti stereo microphone. I don't like AI in things. Just let me do the things.
Wake in the early 4th century. Official Olympic flame lighting ceremony. In ancient Olympia, of course, the flame was lit throughout the duration of the games, and that is the continuity that we're seeing in the modern era as well. Once this flame is lit, it will not be extinguished until the closing ceremony in Paris. That is, will concentrate the rays of the sun so that the flame can be lit here in front of the Temple of Hera, dedicated to the Queen of the Greek gods, Hera. It's one of the most impressive of the buildings that remain here on this ancient site. Originally built approximately 590 BC, stood until an earthquake in the early 4th century. And ahead of the lighting of the torch, the High Priestess
What is going on here?
will ask Apollo, the god of the sun, for his
Wait a minute. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
stood. It's one of the most impressive of the buildings that remain here on this ancient site. Originally built approximately 590 BC, stood until an earthquake in the early 4th century. And ahead of the lighting of the torch, the High Priest
Gloria says, well, the games were an ancient sacrifice to the gods. Yeah, they were. So yeah, this is apparently the original area where it was done.
Priestess will ask Apollo, the god of the sun, for his assistance in lighting the torch.
What? No. Always stray further and further from God. Are you kidding me? We're praying to the Greek gods now? I mean, I know what it used to be, but still, for God's
The High
sakes.
Priestess will ask Apollo, the god of the sun, for his assistance in lighting the torch.
Ιερά σιωπή, να ηχήσει όλος ο αιθέρας, η γη, η θάλασσα και οι πνοές των ανέμων, όροι και τέμποι, σιγήστε, ήχοι και φωνές πουλιών, παύσατε.
So this is where we're at now. Okay. Well, let's hope that what's funny about Apollo was that he was the god that he fought Python. It was an actual python. It was a giant snake, giant serpent. And in the area in which Python had lain, there would be these women. They had to be virgins. They had to be pure. They were the oracles, and they would come in and allow Apollo to speak through them like a conduit. The Bible talks about the Python spirit. The Python spirit is a fortune-telling spirit. So from the perspective of the New Testament, these were demonic entities that were actually possessing people. But the Greeks thought that it was the spirit of Apollos going down into people and speaking through them. We are so close to that again. That is nuts. Fun fact, Apollo is connected to a war god who used plague arrows. Yes. Docker says Apollo, god of the sun, and the idea of light. Yes. Yeah, I didn't know about France, though. I didn't know, more specifically, Paris.
Για τη μέλη να μας συντροφεύσει ο Φίβος, ο Φωσφόρος βασιλεύς. Απόλλωνα, Θεέ του ήλιου και της ιδέας.
Will it translate? Apollo is also one of the horsemen of the apocalypse. That I need to look into. I started studying Apollo a little bit when I was dealing with the Python spirit and the man who needed my help. I called out Python in him, and it came forward quick. And I started that whole week. I told him to sit tight. We were meeting the next week to go and get rid of it. And it tucked its tail and ran. But man, that week I studied so much on that stuff. Because, you know, demonology is like 99% comparative mythology.
Απόλλωνα, Θεέ του ήλιου και της ιδέας του φωτός, έστειλες τις ακτίνες σου και άναψες την ιερή δάδα για τη φιλόξενη πόλη του Παρισιού. Και εσύ, Δία, χάρισε ειρήνη σ' όλους τους λαούς της γης και
Guys,
στεφάνωσε τους νικητές του ιερού αγώνα.
that's not working. Nothing new under the sun. Guys, real quick, I do want to let you know the gods of the Bible are real. No, they're not creators. They were among the divine council. You can read about them in Deuteronomy chapter 32, verses 8 through 9. Replace sons of Israel in those verses with the sons of God, because that's actually what it says in the Dead Sea Scrolls. Israel wasn't a thing yet. It's talking about gods. It's talking about the angels. But angel only means messengers, so you can think of gods as just simply celestials. But God set the borders up according to the number of the sons of God. Each nation had a god, a governor, kind of like our country, right? Well, America. You have 50 states, 50 governors. And you have the government. Yahweh, Father God, would be the government, federal, right? This is a fast way to provoke God's wrath. Jesus Christ has broken the borders. He's destroyed the borders when it comes to being able to reach for anyone he can. Paul actually warns in Acts chapter 17. He says, God overlooks such ignorance. The Greeks would look for Zeus and others. They had like a platform that said to an unknown God. And then Paul, right off the cuff, he goes and quotes, "For we are his offspring," in Acts chapter 17. That's in reference to a poem. It's talking about Zeus. He says we're without excuse now. Why? Because the Son of God has risen. The resurrection is a big deal. Yeah, a spirit is a god, technically, an Elohim. But of course, we're fractured. We humans are fractured. We're not completely broken, because I don't want to affirm total depravity. It's garbage. You have to become totally depraved. There's a reason why we see people out there in the church seem more depraved than the atheists down the road. total depravity is bogus. We are depraved, but we're not totally depraved. We're not born God haters. But our flesh is fractured, and it's why we're not immortal. That's why we die, right? That's why we get sick and die. That's why we grow old. Yeah, Falker, a lot of what I started studying came from Michael Heiser. While I was studying Orthodox theology, Eastern Orthodoxy, you read the Unseen Realm and go read from an Eastern Orthodox study Bible, it gets interesting. Theosis, to be deified. We're going back into the divine council as Christians. That's the whole point in Michael Heiser's The Unseen Realm. Heiser said no lens when reading the Bible and said, I'm going to go just what the writers were trying to convey. And on the other end came Eastern Orthodoxy. It's very interesting. It's also why there's many evangelicals that are not a fan of Heiser. So, wow, that was interesting. Yeah. Nuts. You got to be kidding me. All right, so let's go down to playlist. And I'm going to show you Demonology 101. This guy took a class. He paid for the class, and he's going to break it down step by step.
This is Jesse.
I don't know where that came from. Not you. Not that clip. Live topics. Where's my live topics?
How you doing?
Not you.
What an absolute...
Found it. Let's see here. Why is this so loud? Can you guys hear me okay?
Con.
Title is You Maybe Become a Demonologist.
It is 8:38 in the morning. I'm tired. It was a long day yesterday. 4 hours of streaming, late night the night before from paranormal investigating, but tiredness, it never stops a demon. We're going to become a demonologist.
Yay! Did not Jesus die for our sins? AI asked. Is it not sickness and death a sin? So why do we still get sick and die? We're still waiting on his return. We're not there yet. This is your same question is the question I asked to the Calvinist. So I'm not Calvinist. According to the Calvinist, which is really just to an Augustinian, Augustine believed to be baptized meant to have the original sin wash off of you. So why is it that when you are regenerated, according to the Calvinist, we're not well, we're not perfect? Because after all, they also affirm once saved, always saved. It's all meant to make you just a perfect Christian, right? Perfect Christians don't die. But we all die still. There's a race we must do. We pick up our cross and follow Christ. John, what's up, buddy? Need to go to bed. I got work to do.
Dad, are you making a new video today?
I'm talking to these people.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You want to say hi? You can say hi. Come here. Camera. Here's the camera.
Hi, guys. Hi. Hi.
All right, now.
My name is John.
And
I know God exists because He always created us. He created the earth, wild, and animals. He's always the best. And He always beats the devil by whatever He has.
That's right. Now
Even the devil army can't defeat only one God.
All right. Hey, good night, buddy. I love you.
Love you too, Dad.
All right. Go on.
Here, why don't you bring this to the veil?
Okay, you got it. You got it.
Why don't you spin it to the veil?
I am. Go to bed. Go to bed.
Why don't you tell the guys where the fidget spinners?
John, good night.
Good night.
Can you turn off my light? I forgot to turn it off. Can you turn it off? No. Wrong light. That one. I put you over here. All right. Good night, dude. John, I gotta go. You got it. I gotta go. God said to them, "Did I not say to you that you are gods?" You're referring to John chapter 10, verse 34. Yes. He was speaking to the Pharisees. He was speaking to the Pharisees. Now, why was he saying that to the Pharisees? Because the Israelites were the elect. Now, the election does not equal salvation. Okay? That's why the natural branches of the tree were cut off, and why there is a remnant that remains on the tree of life. The rest are Gentiles, unfortunately. Now, we're not called Gentiles anymore, according to most modern Jews today. Of course, most modern Jews today also are secular, so they don't really, they're more Zionist than anything. But we're not going to get into that. Yes, Jesus would look at us today and say, "You are gods." But read the rest of his reference. At Psalm chapter 82. Psalm 82 says, "I say you are gods, but you will die like mere men. You will die like mortals. You will fall like every other prince." Like I said, God is a title. That's all that is.
I recently did a video about demonology courses and how it all just seems like a bit of a scam. And I was like, I was going to take this course, but then I decided I'm not wasting 15 quid. It looks like a load of shit. Then you guys stepped in. Joe, thank you very much for gifting me the first part of the course. I've also had somebody gift me the $14.99 for part 2, and somebody has also paid for the angelology course. So I am going to
John, I have to get started, buddy. You got to go to bed. Good night. Good night.
be becoming a demonologist with certificates. And I'm going to be learning from Bishop James Long. Now, a few of his fans have had a bit of a go at me in the comments.
You need to go to bed, John. They're not mine. Go to bed. You got to go to bed.
You don't do exercise. That's good for you.
You're right. Sleep.
Why don't you do that every single day?
Fine, sleep.
No, you can't.
All right. Good night, John. Turn your light off. Turn your light off.
In the comment section, I'm sorry. I know you believe this guy. He appears to be on the wrong side of the Roman Catholic Church. Okay, so I'm going to redeem this course. I'm going to sit through this entire course. I'm going to record this entire course and share with you guys. Now, obviously, I cannot put out a 3-hour video, however long this course takes. I think it's 3 hours in total. But I can edit it down into, you know, something worthwhile for you guys. I hope this course isn't a pile of shit and that somebody hasn't wasted their money, but then I think they know it's a pile of shit and they just want me to do it for comedy value. Absolutely fine. I'm a funny guy. Redeem your gift. Joe says, "Hey, I hope you do well with this course. Enjoy Beardo," from Joe Taylor. Joe Taylor, thank you very, very much. Sign up and activate your gift. Boom. No. You guys ain't seeing my full name. At least the good news is we're using my real name. Mr. Bishop James Long will have no idea who I am.
Yeah, Demonology 101 with Bishop James Long. You've seen Bishop James Long probably all over TikTok and such. I'm not like entirely against Bishop James Long, but a demonology course, certificates, I ain't about that life. I won't do it. Yes, AI, we all have to die. That is true. And even Jesus died and he resurrected. And if he did not resurrect, we're still dead in our sins.
Learning a little each day adds up. Research shows that students who make it learning a habit are more likely to reach the goals. Set time aside and learn. Get reminders. Nah, we're going to blast through this as quick as we can. Introduction, 9 minutes. Oh.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bishop James Long. I am the presiding bishop for the United
He has lost a tremendous amount of weight, too.
States.
Magic University. I was going to say a Harry Potter thing there and just realised I don't know any Harry Potter shit.
Technically, I have my entire life to the study of demonology.
What about all the time you spent in university doing business? Asking for a friend. Yo, James, could you just tell me how to use this thing? Why is this relevant? Right, first of all,
He makes a really good point. Now he's being facetious, but he makes a good point. Ooh,
yo, James, could you just tell me how to use this thing?
yeah. What he's holding in his hand, Jesus conquered hell and death. He has the keys to hell and death. That cross is really all you need, and you need to know how to use that cross. You need to know how to use your faith. Everything else is just extra.
Why is this relevant? Right, first of all,
I mean, you could argue and say it's relevant. Oh, we haven't got far enough to see what's relevant or not, but you know.
if you're going to charge people what is usually priced at $30 to $50 a section, maybe sort your sound out a little bit. Your microphone's peaking, it sounds awful, distorted, visually, this looks terrible. This is a cash grab. Put some effort in there.
My little sister, we would play church. And of course, I always had to be the priest. Now, she wanted to be the priest at the time, and I thought, heresy.
No, we are not making those jokes. I just sat through 9 minutes of him talking about himself, how he got into the church, how he got into demonology. I've learned nothing. Hopefully the quality will improve a little bit on this, what you will learn in this class. 1 minute. Apparently, everything I'm going to learn is only going to take a minute.
We'll also discuss mental illness, which I think is a very, very important element. And finally,
Absolutely, 100% agree with that. The fact that they are looking at mental illness as part of this, give them props. That's a positive. That's a huge positive. Part 3. What is demonology?
Let's actually pause at mental illness for a moment. And this is why I would have a hard time charging to teach stuff like this. I went through, I have a mental illness. I have symptoms of bipolar. I have a video on that if you guys want to see that. Maybe I'll even put it in the description at some point, or in the comments after this video is done. Or go under my playlist and you'll actually see Storytime playlist. I go over my battle with the messenger of Satan that's been sent to me. It's a bastard. It's not fun to deal with. But after going through that, would I charge someone money to learn about the nuances of mental health and spiritual warfare? I'll be honest with you, it doesn't feel right.
within the field and has accepted his or her calling to devote their lives to the study of demonology and may be appointed by church leadership to investigate demonic cases.
That's not strictly true, is it? Is it, Bishop James Long? You see, to become a demonologist, all you have to do is study demons, study textbooks, not necessarily Catholic textbooks.
It's a good point. Yeah. Basically everything you said. Also, James, I want to go back on something that you said.
James Long, you see.
Or calling to devote their lives to the study of demonology and may be appointed by church leadership to investigate demonic
Appointed by church leadership.
cases.
That's not strictly two, is it? Is it?
Yeah, I have a. I mean, you're teaching it though, knowing in your belief system that you have to be appointed by the church. And I don't know if I believe that because I ended up being called by God. It didn't start off that way. It ultimately ended up being a part of his plan, ironically, or unironically, however you want to look at that. I was chasing it at first. And then God made me trip and fall on my face. And then God basically said to me, if you want it this bad, I'm going to make you the demonologist that I want you to be. And before I knew it, I started going through a transformation that in 9 months, I became more like Christ than I think I had ever been before that. It was a huge transition. It was a lot of pain. It was a lot of anguish, what I went through. Let's see here. I'm assuming you've heard about what happened to Bishop Marmari Emmanuel. Yeah, I was praying for him the other day, actually. Yeah, he got stabbed multiple times, I believe. And that's going to keep happening. And we know what's going to happen, though. We know persecutions are going to continue rising. And the way Christians get made fun of, we get made fun of differently than when someone decides to make fun of a Muslim or any other belief system for that matter. RK says he didn't actually get stabbed. He didn't get stabbed? I could have sworn he did. Yeah, Helsing, you're right. It is coming off as that kind of cash grab, isn't it?
Bishop James Long. You see, to become a demonologist, all you have to do is study demons, study textbooks, not necessarily Catholic textbooks.
They immediately walk in, oh, there's a demon, there's a demon. It seems like there's a demon in every single location.
I mean, you'd know. You work with Zach Baggins. Right,
Oh, he didn't get stabbed, but he got sliced. He lost 2 of his fingers? Wow. Falco, you're absolutely right. We pray for those who persecute us. And that is hard. It's so hard. There are people that, like, sometimes I think about who have wronged me in the past, and I have to really pay attention to how I feel in those moments. They pop in my head. Because sometimes it makes me pretty mad just thinking about them. But we're supposed to pray for those who come against us.
obviously I should have said, this is a paid for course, so I've got to be really careful how much of this I actually show. While I am going to record the full 2 or 3 hours, however long this is, I can't put that out there, because then what I'm doing is putting out a paid for course for everyone to see. So I'm going to be able to put out a shorter video based on my experience sitting through this course. So I'm going to condense this down into a more fun video for you guys. This is too much work for a Monday already.
Understand, demonology has nothing to do with the paranormal.
Wait,
what?
What? What?
What?
No way.
And then there's nothing wrong with paranormal. I love the paranormal community. I love the paranormal. I can talk to you all day long about werewolves and vampires and Bigfoot and the Mothman. And
okay, that's metaphysics, and that is actually it's a subset, subgenre, whatever, subset. Yeah, I think that's the word. Oh, I'm tired. Yeah, subset of demonology is metaphysics. Pretty important stuff, and paranormal. A lot of paranormal ends up being that.
And Goat Man and Cat Man and all these other mans. I can.
You just skip past ghosts. You've named everything except ghosts, spirits, yokais, diogans, poltergeists. Just jump straight into Bigfoot, Mothman, Werewolves, vampires. What the fuck am I watching?
Yeah, harder parts of Christianity. It is one of the harder parts of Christianity for sure, praying for those who persecute us. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, subset. Yeah, I thought that started sounding right when.
This is getting a bit preachy. I had a call in. Somebody sent me this finely crafted, 3D printed Phasmophobia crucifix and the spirit of Elgato key light. There was choir and church music playing. It wasn't God. It was Elgato. Also, I use Elgato webcams and Elgato Stream Deck. Hey, Elgato, hit me up.
Demonologist is someone who has a calling, and they have primary research. They take the cases, and they may be appointed by church leadership to take on demonic cases. They assist the exorcist. Without demonologists, my job is very difficult because I rely on paranormal teams who are qualified, who are really top-notch.
Exactly.
Okay, I think I know what he's about to say.
Baggins.
Yeah, Zach Baggins. Okay, yeah, he said it. Guys, if you recognize James Long, he was a part of Ghost Adventures. That's not a top-notch team. I'm sorry.
Top-notch. Zach Baggins.
Yeah,
He's in investigators where everything is not a demon. I just simply don't want to work with those teams because they end up scaring the homeowners. But my dog is ordained through one of those sites. I'm just saying. That's what I mean.
Hey, I'm starting to like this guy. He's got a bit of sass about him. You can't get ordained through a website. My dog's been ordained. Fair play. I'm starting to like this guy. But you're doing the same thing with demonology.
You know, people ask me all the time, have I seen an increase in...
So obviously I can't show all of this because, you know, it's a paid course.
Right, it's a paid
But there
course.
is genuinely some interesting topics in this. Like he's just explained Ouija boards, human spirits, angels. But so far, I haven't learned anything. So far...
I can give you guys something on Ouija boards. The spirit will wear your hands like gloves when you're moving the planchette. Because if it didn't need to do that, it wouldn't actually need a planchette. It's also a way of inviting the spirit to the conversation, into your life. That's why there's the hello and goodbye. But also, ghosts don't, or human spirits, ghosts, do not possess the living. So you're really just dealing with demons there. It's moving the planchette, or the planchette with your hand. Yeah.
I'm on section 7, and so far, he's just promoted himself and his church. He's loosely touched upon paranormal TV shows. The vibe I'm getting is paranormal TV shows are much better. Much better than anything on YouTube. Much more believable, much more real, much more credible.
The guy who tries to fist fight ghosts, yeah, Zach Bagans has done some really weird stuff.
Okay, so we've got through chapter 7. Chapter 7, what is a demon? And
it says
all he did
infestation
was have a bitch fit at anyone with any
Infection
idea
and possession is the topic he's on.
of a demon being anything other than the spawn of Satan. You know, a demon has never walked the earth. It couldn't possibly be anything to do with Cain and Abel and Seth. He basically read pages of the Bible and then was like, but people have misconstrued this. Anyone that believes outside of, you know, my faith is wrong because of this page in the Bible. I'm struggling already.
Okay, so yeah, guys, I can give you some more free stuff right now. Take a look at my video on the fundamental difference between fallen angels and demons. Demons are not fallen angels. They're two different kinds of entities/deities. Fallen angel is going to look like a regular angel, but they are going to They're going to masquerade as an angel of light, just like Satan, their father, the devil. But a demon did walk the earth as a Nephilim. See, there are many who do affirm the Nephilim, but they don't affirm demons coming from the Nephilim dying, and then out of their body came this evil spirit. But every living organism has a spirit. We all have spirits, including Nephilim. So there's nothing wrong with believing that. Demons are also the complete, like, they're nothing but darkness. You know, we think about like a Disney movie when the bad guy or when the good guy starts turning evil or something, and then they start the horns and the tail, and they look like a monster, or like Legend, right, with Tom Cruise, that old movie. Tim Curry is like, Satan-esque. It's not the devil. The devil's still beautiful. Why is the devil still beautiful? Why is it that demons can give off such a disgusting, just malice, bad smell? Why are they're hiding in the dark and crawling in corners, and just they're gross? Also, why do demons like to pretend to be people? That's an interesting one. Satan masquerades as an angel of light. Demons masquerade as people. Why? They came from people. A demon is not going to masquerade as an angel. That's weird. They were only half angel. It'd be easier for them to be one with the earth, walking around the earth. They are stuck on the earth.
I'm really struggling. I mean, I say already, I'm on chapter 8, but it's too preachy.
Yes, Gloria, spirit is the life of the body, absolutely.
For me, it's like you have to be Catholic. You have to be his offshoot of Catholic, and only he knows what he's talking about.
Beardo, have me on, man. I'd like to talk with you. I don't belong to any particular church. I'm a follower of the Lord Jesus Christ, but I'm willing to talk with anybody about this.
It's not just preachy as in the Bible sense. It's preachy from he's right, everyone else is wrong.
You paranormal investigate. Is there anybody here? Can you do something? I dare you to do something. I dare you to push me. I dare you to... Folks, listen to me carefully. You have not provoked.
What?
You have invited. Please understand the difference.
Yeah, and you've worked with Zach Bagans. Zach Bagans has done nothing but invite. In fact, Zach Bagans, just a few years ago, he was laughing in an interview, admitting that there are women that break up with him because they see all sorts of spirits that are around him. They manifest, and then the girlfriends freak out and they leave.
Mrs. Geek, don't ever leave me, because if you do, a demon will attack me, then it's your fault. James Long said so. That entire little section there.
Helsing, no, but I can see where you'd think that, because it does start getting a little bit. You start pulling far enough away from Christianity and become your own little sect. Yeah.
Where he has just described that if you go and provoke a paranormal investigation, you provoke something you know to be a demon, it won't do anything. It'll just laugh at you. But then it'll only attack you when you're at your lowest low from real life things. That ain't a demon. That's not a demon at all. That's just being down on your luck. Chapter.
No such thing as luck, though. Yes, demons will attack you at your lowest low. Yes, you can provoke a demon, and then that can cause an invitation. I wouldn't call it an automatic invitation. If anything, you might just piss it off enough to bite back.
Right. Start it off.
Still shouldn't do it, though. You never know. You never know what kind of door you've opened. After all, demons only have so much authority. So they get permission. They have to get permission not only from us, but also from God. God can look at a demon and say, you're not going into them. God can do that.
Quite well. Hey.
God stops humans every day from doing things.
Stop calling out demons, because they'll attack you when you're at your lowest ebb, when you're depressed, when you've lost your job, when your wife has left you. That's when a demon attacks. That's depression. It's just depression. And then he started beating his Bible again, which is fair enough, you know, the guy's a bishop. I'm still yet to learn anything. We are 9 parts in. I'm borderline nodding off because the back half of every one of these segments so far is all about him. What he's done, what he does, who he's worked with, who he's worked for, and why he's right, you're wrong. Part 9. Ooh, infestation. Dangerous. But most of it is him. I've done 30 exorcisms. I've done this, I've done that, I've done the other. This isn't a learning course. This, so far, is a sales pitch for his brand of Catholicism. Okay, he's asking me for a review. Are you learning valuable information? No. Are the explanations and concepts clear? I mean, it's very clear that this is a self-promotion. Are the instructors' delivery engaging? I've nodded off. Are there enough opportunities to apply what you... I'm not learning anything.
Hey, Dad.
What?
I'm scared of the dark.
Then just leave the light on.
Hey, Dad, I want to keep exercising to the gym from I'm 20 years old.
I know you do, Jonathan. I'm talking with people. You gotta go lay down, okay?
So, what do you tell them all the Pokemons this Pokeball knows?
You got it. Go on and lay down. Shut the door behind you. You need to go. Good night. Good night. Good night.
See you in the morning.
Oh, okay. My son wanted me to show you guys this. So, why don't we actually talk about this, Pokemon? This is so demonic. I'm kidding. No. It's a children's game. Don't worry about it. There are some people that are more susceptible to some stuff. It depends on where you're at. It depends on how you think of things. It depends on, do you have an addictive personality? Like video games. Are there some video games like war games, COD? Does it make you angry when you're playing it? It does me. I don't play COD. And do not let the sun go down your anger. That is a commandment right there, pretty much. It's actually scripture. Be careful. Be careful about things that make you mad. There's the guy that spoke to me, the Bob Larson, and he talks about you can't play Mortal Kombat because you can get video game demons. Like, what? What? Yeah, no. It's
Section 2 was in that. I was waiting for Section 2.
Right on, Gloria. Yeah, it's a great game. There's nothing wrong with Pokemon. Now, I would rather play Pokemon or Magic the Gathering than Yu-Gi-Oh! That's just because Yu-Gi-Oh's, that's a matter of preference. Yu-Gi-Oh's Egyptian gods are very obvious to me. I can't mentally just get around that and accept it as just a game. I have a problem with that. But I would never look at my son and be like, you shouldn't be playing. It's a card. It's not real. And the earth is the Lord's and everything in it. Our Father could take one of those gods and squash it like a bug.
Unexpected questions.
I thought you were supposed to get a certification.
So I have 100% completed a course in Demonology 101 with Bishop James Long, and all I did was watch Bishop James Long read Bible pages, tell me that everything I thought about demons was pretty much spot on. I learned it from Supernatural, and it's pretty much right. There was no...
Well, okay, so actually there is a problem with Supernatural. Supernatural believes that if you die good, you're an angel. If you die bad, you're a demon. Supernatural also doesn't affirm the gospel. Jesus is in Supernatural as a man named Joshua. He's known as the gardener in heaven. Of course, they killed him off later. So they had some cool stuff going for themselves, and they started ruining stuff. But Supernatural is still one of my favorite shows. So they could have ended it better. There's a lot they could have done better. It's not my point. Point is, no, Supernatural gets it wrong. Angels do not need bodies. Angels are a type of body. Celestials have a type of body. Demons once had a body. Another difference.
No test, no nothing. No certificate, nothing to print out. This isn't what was advertised at all. This isn't learning about demonology. This is bullshit. Okay, so that's
Helsing, main character is a pharaoh too. Yeah, that's the little things like that. I can't get my mind around on Yu-Gi-Oh. Never finished Supernatural, Gloria. Yeah, it should have ended at season 5. It was supposed to, and then it didn't. So if you wonder why season 6 picked up the way it did, that's why.
part 1 of me becoming a demonologist complete, and genuinely that was so disappointing. Really disappointing.
Beardo, have me on, man. Let's talk.
It was just a look at me, I'm a bishop, look how cool I am, look how right I am, how wrong everyone else is. Read the Bible.
I'm not a bishop. I don't have any title, but I do have a fishing license.
There was nothing, absolutely nothing in that I didn't know. And listen,
I do remember the panic over D&D. That was during Satanic Panic. You can thank Jack Chick for that. And Jack Chick was a fearmonger. He hated books like Narnia. He hated books like Lord of the Rings, despite those two people being Christians themselves. C.S. Lewis wrote Narnia. Tolkien wrote Lord of the Rings. Jack Chick didn't like either of them. He made people burn books. You never burn books. That's a terrible idea. The only way I would ever burn a book is if it was some form of, I won't even say propaganda, because I think we could actually learn something from it. But I'm sure if I thought long and hard enough about books, I could think of some to burn. But my point is, don't go around burning books, especially if it's on like pop culture and stuff. If somebody was like, Ronnie James Dio of Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne of they were both part of Black Sabbath, but like, let's go burn their records. That was during Satanic Panic. Stupid. Yeah, Chick tracks, all based on Jack Chick. He was a moron, and he was a fearmonger. I don't have anything I can think of right off the top of my head to say about him that would be nice, so I'm going to just try to avoid it. But yeah, I'm not a fan of Jack Chick.
whilst I was brought up Christian while I was young, I went to a Pentecostal church when I was young. I was never really, it was never really forced upon me. I was never meant to read the scriptures, read the Bible, and there was nothing in that I hadn't heard before. Whether it be from Supernatural, school. It's like this was aimed at morons. I'm actually insulted that they want to call that learning. I have wasted 3 hours of my morning. What we have learned, nothing. What did he say? What did he do? What did he say? Well, he read Bible pages. He promoted himself, made himself sound all-knowing, all-seeing, and his way or the highway.
Yeah, and none of that works. Okay, guys, let's talk about it this way. Let's think about this for a moment. If you want some good books on demonology, go and first have a good understanding of the Bible, right? Have an understanding of the Bible. And then as far as a book to pick, I would pick the Book of Enoch. Pick First Enoch. don't bother reading 2nd and 3rd Enoch. Different authors completely. I do believe that 1st Enoch was written by more than one author over time. I don't think anyone was trying to be malicious. That wasn't with malicious intent. I think that there were people over time that were trying to fill in the blanks, which is why in Enoch, it looks like the Messiah is not Jesus Christ, but rather Enoch himself. Incorrect. Obviously, it's incorrect, but also for the time, I don't think that the original writer for Enoch was trying to say that Enoch was the Messiah. So read First Enoch. Nothing wrong with that. Read The Unseen Realm by Michael Heiser. I'll tell you one that's really good with First Enoch is reading Reversing Herman by Michael Heiser. He actually compares First Enoch to Genesis, and then all throughout Herman. That's a big one. What else? Return of the Gods by Jonathan Cahn. I'm reading that one now. That's a good one to read. Because gods are rulers over entire nations, whereas angels, even fallen angels, are not. They don't rule over entire nations. They are, moreover, they can have small regions perhaps, but if they don't have that kind of title, if they never have that title, they're not going to rule over entire nations. So that is important to understand. Any other books I can think of? It really comes down to studying on your own. But Heiser is a fantastic starting point. Because whether he believes it or not, Heiser is was a demonologist. The Celestial Hierarchy by Dionysius, and trying to pronounce that, but I will look into that. Celestial Hierarchy. Here, maybe I can pull something up for free. Free. Found it. Can I read anything on it? It's going to let me read some pages. Section 1 says, every good gift and every perfect gift is from above and cometh down from the Father of lights. Interesting. Further also, every procession of illuminating light proceeding from the Father whilst visiting us as a gift of goodness restores us again gradually as a unifying power. As an unifying power. That's a typo. I don't think they printed this right. Turns us to the oneness of our conducting Father and to a deifying simplicity. Yeah, very cool. I will look into this. Yeah. It goes deep. There's many different ways to learn about demonology. Many different ways. You guys have any questions while we're at it, by the way? Anything in particular? I was hoping that Beardo had more from the course to give us. That's unfortunate that he didn't learn anything. I don't like that. The book's Angels and Demons by Heiser too. Yes. Yeah, look up Heiser. Look at Michael Heiser, and pretty much all he studied, it ended up being demonology, more or less. You want to learn about spiritual warfare? Start in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. Understand that? We're not fighting against flesh and blood, but principalities and powers. Read Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. I will put enmity between you and the woman, between your offspring and hers. He will crush your head and you will strike his heel. That's a lot. There's a lot going on there. But if you go between you and the woman, he's speaking to Satan, you, Satan, and the woman, Eve. What does Eve mean? Mother of all living. It's true. Eve was the mother of all. Between your offspring and hers. Okay. The offspring of Satan at war with all living? That's essentially what that is. Eve's offspring is all living. That's what Eve means. Then take a look at Genesis chapter 6. Understand that that was the first time that any of the angels attempted to do that. When the human beings began to increase in number on the earth and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw the daughters of humans were beautiful, and they married any of them they chose. Verse 4, the Nephilim were on the earth in those days and also afterward, when the sons of God went to the daughters of humans and had children by them. They were the heroes of old, men of renown. Now go to 1 Enoch chapter 6. You can't make this up. It's crazy. 1 Enoch chapter 6. And it came to pass when the children of men had multiplied that in those days were born unto them beautiful and comely daughters. And the angels, the children of the heaven, saw and lusted after them, and said to one another, Come, let us choose us wives from among the children of men, and beget us children. Simjaza, who was their leader, said unto them, I fear ye will not indeed agree to do this deed, and I alone shall have to pay the penalty of a great sin. And they all agreed to swear an oath together. Same event. The entire world went through a flood. Every religion around the world has their own depiction of the flood, from Hinduism through ancient Mesopotamia. And by the way, demonology ends up going back to the original gods of Samaria, the Sumerian gods. I can even show you a goddess who could change gender at will. Her name is Inanna. In fact, we look up Inanna. Inanna is the ancient Sumerian goddess of love, sensuality. It's actually, let's see if we can't. I gotta switch this. Switch. Yay, we switched. Okay. Ancient Sumerian goddess of love, sensuality, fertility, procreation, and also of war. She's also known as Ishtar. And Aphrodite. Yeah, the ancient Sumerian gods and goddesses. That is going to be one, probably the oldest that you can go. I was actually guessing Venus. Inanna's from Venus. Interesting. But now let's type in Inanna, goddess, gender. While Inanna/Ishtar was a goddess, her gender could be ambiguous at times. Gary Beckman states that ambiguous gender identification was a characteristic not just of Ishtar herself, but of a category of deities he refers to as the Ishtar-type goddesses. What is her gender? Yeah, most is going to go to female. Buddy, you got to go to bed, dude. I got more people in the chat I'm talking to. Go to bed. You getting your blanket?
here.
No. You take it. You take it.
You.
John, I'm serious. I have to keep moving.
Take it.
I'll take it. All right, fine. I took it. All right. My son wanted me to have a pillow. Good night, buddy. She had the power to change gender. I'm trying to find it. Isn't it funny that it can get hard to find? The most highly venerated deity in ancient Mesopotamia was Inanna, who was also known as Ishtar after the two were merged. She was known as the Queen of Heaven and was the goddess of sex, war, and justice, and she also believed to have the ability to change a person's gender. Hermes and Aphrodite are the two names that originated the word hermaphrodite. Interesting. Jubilees is a good one too. I agree. You think the gods of the Aztecs are related to the ones with the ancient Canaanites? Ooh, Aztecs. They have some nasty freaking. I was looking up one of their games because I found out that basketball was actually put up by a Freemason. I'm not kidding. Look at the inventor of basketball. He's a Mason. Was a Mason. He's obviously dead now. But yep. But like, if we go to who am I thinking of? Oh, you know what? History repeats itself is basically what I was just trying to show there. It gets deep. Yeah. Ishtar could change gender. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, the Aztec games were dark. John, I'm serious, dude. I'll be in there. I'll be in there. You got to go right now. Let's see here. Ishtar seems like the inspiration for the chaos god. Slain Ashton 40K. Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, she does. She does deal with fertility. She does. Fertility, war, gender. Which, by the way, The Return of the Gods by Jonathan Cahn breaks down Inanna. He had the old ancient tablets in his hands. He was reading them and showing that what had been documented about her was that she could change gender at will. She had that ability. Yeah, many of them are the same gods, and they are accusers. In fact, Satan himself, we don't know his name. Many names. He has many names. Like if I compiled a list, I could probably come up with like 5, 6, 7 different names. Satan, the devil, Gadriel, according to First Enoch. Like, you also have Azazel or Azazel, which translates to strong God. It was the god of the wilderness, also Satan. Let's see. Avery? What? Avery? Avery, I'm sorry. Well, these gods are technically the fallen angels, right? A god, lowercase g, God, is not just associated with fallen angels, but regular angels too. In fact, a disembodied person, a dead person, can also be known as a god. And if you translate it back into Hebrew, it's an Elohim. It's just spirit. That's all it really means. But it does hold significance when it comes to titles. Princes and rulers in the heavens can be, they usually go by, like if you and I went to another planet, what would our title be that we for us to show how powerful we are to these aliens or whatever planet you want to imagine we're on? It would be, I am human this or human that. I am a man, a woman, whoever would be with us. So when it comes to the gods, they go by that title. It's not just fallen angels, though. When it comes to, it's like why Jesus said to the Pharisees, John 10:34. Is it not written in your law, I said you were gods? Jesus replied, it is written in your own scriptures that God said to certain leaders of people, I say you are gods. That's another translation of that. A little g God can be a number of different things. In this instance, it's more like a judge. God presides in the great assembly. He renders judgment among the gods. How long will you defend the unjust and show partiality to the wicked? Okay, they were judging here. They were supposed to judge. Defend the weak and the fatherless. Uphold the cause of the poor and oppressed. Rescue the weak and the needy. Deliver them from the hand of the wicked. The gods know nothing. They understand nothing. They walk about in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are shaken. I said you were gods. You were all sons of the Most High, but you will die like mere mortals. You will fall like every other ruler. By the way, gods are rulers. Gods are judges. Gods are governors. We go to 2 Corinthians chapter 4. The God of this age has blinded the minds of unbelievers so that they cannot see the light of the gospel that displays the glory of Christ, who is the image of God. The little g God here is referring to Satan, who masquerades as an angel of light. But Avery, I recommend taking a look at Michael Heiser's The Unseen Realm. He breaks it down really well. These gods were never meant to be worshipped. They were assigned nations. We go to Deuteronomy 32. Skip down. Verse 7, remember the days of old. Consider the generations long past. Ask your father, and he will tell you. Your elders, they will explain it to you. When the Most High gave the nations their inheritance, when he divided all mankind, he set up boundaries for the peoples according to the number of the sons of Israel. For the Lord's portion is his people, Jacob his allotted inheritance. Now, of course, this is a reflection. At the time, there was no Jacob, and there was also no Israel, so this is actually really confusing. Who is Fatima? Oh, we'll look at that in a moment. Sons of God according to the Dead Sea Scrolls and the Septuagint. Septuagint talks about it. Dead Sea Scrolls talk about it. Sons of Israel is a mistranslation. It's sons of God. There are different sons of God. When the morning stars sang together and all the sons of God shouted for joy, that would be angels. But of course, angel is just messenger. I suppose if you want to call a god anything else to make more people feel comfortable, because when we say God, it freaks people out. Nothing to be freaked out about, but people tend to associate that with Yahweh. It's not quite how that works. Yeah. Fatima. You talking about Fatima? Secrets of Fatima. Interesting. Oh, you know what might help? Why don't we look at a video of it? Well, didn't mean to pull her up. The story of Our Lady of Fatima and her secrets.
Out of all of the places and people that Mother Mary could choose to appear to, she chose 3 young shepherd kids from a small town in Fatima, Portugal. These 3 kids were Lucia Santos and her cousins Jacinta and Francisco Mato. She appeared to them 6 times between May and October 1917, but it was the visit on the 13th of July 1917 where she entrusted the children with 3 secrets. Now, unfortunately, Jacinta, who was known to be the more outgoing one of the 3, told her parents about the Mary apparition. The word started to spread throughout the whole town, and of course, close to no one believed them. They interrogated the poor children, they imprisoned them, they told them that they would be killed if they did not tell them the truth, but the 3 young kids would rather die than have to lie about what they saw. It was only 4 years later, in 1941, after these apparitions and after the death of Jacinta and Francisco Mato, where Lucia thought it prudent to reveal 2 out of the 3 secrets. The first secret was the vision of hell. These are the exact words as per Lucia's memoir. Our Lady showed us a great sea of fire which seemed to be under the earth. Plunged into this fire were demons and souls in human form, like transparent burning embers or blackened or burnished bronze, floating about in the conflagration, now raised into the air by the flames that issued from within themselves, together with great clouds of smoke, now falling back on every side like sparks in a huge fire.
Glory, I did not hear about that actually.
Without weight or equilibrium, and amid shrieks and groans of pain and despair, which horrified us and made us tremble with fear. The demons could be distinguished by their terrifying and repulsive likeness to frightful and unknown animals, all black and transparent. This vision lasted but an instant. How can we ever be grateful enough to our kind Heavenly Mother, who had already prepared us by promising in the first apparition to take us to heaven? Otherwise, I think we would have died of fear and terror. Now, the second secret told us that World War I would end. However, that if man continued offending God and Russia did not convert, another war would start. And what do you know, World War I ended, but people continued offending God, and World War II started in 1939. Here's the exact words as per Sister Lucia. Mary said, "You have seen hell where the souls of poor sinners go. To save them, God wishes to establish in the world devotion to my immaculate heart. If what I say to you is done, many souls will be saved and there will be peace. The war is going to end. But if people do not cease offending God, a worse one will break out during the pontificate of Pope Pius XI. When you see a night illumined by an unknown light, know that this is the great sign given you by God that He is about to punish the world for its crimes by means of war, famine, and persecutions of the Church and of the Holy Father. To prevent this, I shall come to ask for the consecration of Russia to my Immaculate Heart and the communion of reparation on the first Saturdays. If my requests are heeded, Russia will be converted and
Avery asks, isn't this false doctrine since Mary can't promise entrance into heaven? Okay, that's interesting. It should also be noted that who's to say that this wasn't a spirit? Enemies of God can predict the future. Like, it's not just the good side that can state things of the future. Enemies of God can do the same thing. Falker, are you serious? Probably would not eat the pancakes. Here's what Falker said. On the morning of April 18th, 1961, Joe Simonson saw a silver craft land on his farm. Upon entering the craft, he came into contact with three dark-skinned individuals. They asked for a jug of water. In exchange, they gave him pancakes, which he ate. And then Falker asked me, would you eat the pancakes? No, I don't think so. Also, it's L.A. Marzulli, because L.A. Marzulli also believes that Fatima was actually from a deceiving spirit. I can go one way or the other with this. I think it's best to be cautious. I would rebuke first, ask questions later. Because if Mary appears to you and you say in the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, who sent you, what if this figure just flew away immediately? And you turn around and tell everybody, okay, well, we thought it was Mary, and then we brought up her son Jesus, and then she freaked out and left. So I guess she wasn't. Yeah, deceiving spirit. And I could see that. I can see that. Of course, in Catholicism too, there's some things in Catholicism. I was just talking to my mom about this today. There are things in Catholicism that I highly disagree with. John, you need to go to bed, buddy. We can't keep doing this. It's 11 o'clock at night, man. You gotta sleep. Don't. You okay? You can't do that to the desk.
You scratched me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here, let me kiss it. I'm sorry. You gotta go to bed though, okay? We might have to wrap this up. My son isn't sleeping. Oh, I think my wife's home now. Yeah, Mary, Catholics believe that Mary is sinless. It's their way of justifying original sin. No, that's just incorrect. There's no scripture to defend that. Stay away from it. Avoid it like the plague. It's not to say every Catholic is committing heresy by entering the Catholic Church, but there's a reason why Paul said that not everyone who aims to be teachers should be teachers. God judges teachers to a higher standard than the people learning from the teachers. Yeah, no, I have no problem with Mary. It's the Catholic view of Mary that I have a problem with. He's been coming in here a lot. I'm going to admit that to you. Thank you. Yeah, actually, thank you guys for understanding. Big time. I'm trying not to get on a Catholic rant because it's not. I don't have a problem with Catholics. I have many friends who are Catholics, many friends who are Orthodox, and so on and so forth. Yeah, another comment here. But we know Mary had other kids after Jesus, Avery says, and Helsing was bringing up perpetual virginity of Mary. So was she still considered a virgin? Okay, Mary being a perpetual virgin, non-salvation issue, you can go one way or the other with it. I know there's going to be many people that don't want to hear that, but it's true. It's okay. She was a virgin when she gave birth to Jesus. And I believe that Jesus does have, or did have, blood brothers. Interesting, Gloria. I didn't know that. Katie, thank you. Thank you. But yeah, it's a non-salvation issue. It's not a big deal. But when we're getting into like Mary, if she was sinless or not, we start walking into some dangerous waters there. Yeah. We really can go one way or the other with it. I believe she had other kids. Maybe she didn't. You know? Oh, my battery's dying. Nice. 2 seconds, guys, and then I'm going to hop off here. Let me change this battery out. The side that's closest to me. Ah. Nice. There we go. Sorry, I'm trying to wrap this up, babe. More people started joining the stream, and so I'm just we're just talking right now. Huh? Well, I
finish setting up the kids by myself.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, babe. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Is there an AC adapter to your camera? I ought to have one. Oh, Sam, can you shut my door, babe? Yeah, non-salvation issue. It's not that big of a deal. It's not something I like to. I actually consider that almost splitting hairs, like just shy of splitting hairs. Doesn't matter. There was a point where I actually believed that Paul was a eunuch by choice, but the person I brought that up to was slightly offended that I thought that. Just to me, that Paul seemed like he practiced celibacy to a very strong point. Even going as far as to say that I don't want you to aim to be like me in terms of celibacy. So, as far as spiritual warfare goes, we'll try to stick to that. Oh yeah, arguing is bad Catholic explanation. I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Remove Augustine from Catholicism. I think more people would be willing to be Catholic. His doctrines, I won't say completely problematic, but I would certainly go as far as to say his doctrine of original sin needs to be torn up and thrown away. That has done more harm than good. Yeah, I can understand it being off-putting, the whole Mary thing. Makes sense. And like it would make sense to someone who's not Catholic. If you were born into Catholicism, then you're going to have a different opinion on it. It's why I'm pretty patient when it comes to things like that. I think there are a lot of nuances to this conversation when it comes to people, like why they're Catholic, why they're not, why they're Orthodox, why they're not. I believe in uniting the body of Christ, not dividing us even further, which is why I haven't joined a side. If somebody forced me to, they were like, you have to join a side tomorrow. I'm probably going Orthodox, but at the same time, I'm going to continue speaking tongues when the Holy Spirit enables me to. It would probably offend my Orthodox brothers, but it's true. And sisters, but it's true. I've spoken in tongues twice in my life. It's a real thing. It happens. What exactly is the doctrine of original sin? It goes deep. It goes real deep. Looking for a church to join? Pray about it, because there are many churches that continue to pop up left and right, and they shouldn't. I don't believe that if you're hesitant about joining a church and you're kind of just in the middle, and then you hear people say you're forsaking the assembly if you don't join a church, don't listen to them. If you're hesitant, pray about it, see if there's a church to join. If there's not, there's nothing wrong with even going between churches. They call it church hopping. Listen, we're all siblings here. We're all in spirit. We're all family. There's no hopping. You can go from one church to another and see what's more comfortable to you, is God meets us where we're at every day. Doctrine of original sin is a deep one, though. Original sin and doctrines of grace tend to go together. Original sin is essentially what makes us born God haters. I know what we can do. Let's see here. I can show you.
Every baby starts life as a little savage. He is completely selfish and self-centered. He wants what he wants when he wants it. His bottle, his mother's attention, his playmate's toy, his uncle's watch. Deny him these and he seeks.
There I am. Sorry about that.
Seethes with rage and aggressiveness, which would be murderous were he not so helpless. He is dirty. He has no morals, no knowledge, no skills. That means all children, not just certain children, all children are born delinquent.
Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted, and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And whoso shall receive one such little child in my name, receiveth me. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea.
Calvin was once, talked about babies, and he said that babies were as depraved as rats. And I said, that's the one time I really, really oppose the teaching of John Calvin. I said, that's terribly insulting to the rat.
And that's enough with that. Also a reason why I am not a fan of Sproul. Yeah, I definitely think this doctrine is absurd. It is absurd. We're not born God haters. We're not born God haters. We do have a choice in the matter of if we want God or not. We have to be invited first. There is an invitation that goes out to all. It is horrible. Yeah, Avery, you're right. It's horrible to think of babies that way. Hey, babe, can you shut the door? I'm finding a stopping point now.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you, babe. It's insane to think of babies that way. That's Jesus says for us to become like little children. If we're born God haters, then why go backwards? Why are we told by Christ to basically be like children? I actually believe the heart is the inner child. This is just a personal belief. Don't quote me on it as far as to put doctrine on it, just my belief. But I believe that when you get those who are traumatized, we're locked into that time period when we were hurt as a kid, or even older than that, we're frozen in fear. That's where inner healing comes into play. Christ can take that pain away from us. It is possible. Yeah. Absolutely, 100%. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, guys, we have any other questions? It looks like I've been on the stream for almost 2 hours. I wasn't supposed to stream this long. I'm going to be exhausted tomorrow. I am not a streamer. I stream once a week. For anyone new in the chat, I stream every Saturday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it goes on for an hour to 2 hours, pretty much. Oh, your dad did a study on sin? It does get interesting. Darkness being the absence of light. God will use darkness to get the attention of us. But Jesus said to Nicodemus that the verdict is that I'm going to pull it up, actually. John chapter 3. Elsing says, he figured in order to commit your first sin, you need to understand it as sin. Yes. Yes. There will be books of works that are open showing every deed we have done. You can't condemn a child for a sin if they don't understand sin yet. Let's see here. Uh, Jesus said to Nicodemus in verse 19 of chapter 3 of John, "This is the verdict. Light has come into the world, but people love darkness instead of light because their deeds were evil. Everyone who does evil hates the light and will not come into the light for fear that their deeds will be exposed. But whoever lives by the truth comes into the light, so that it may be seen plainly that what they have done has been done in the sight of God. This is why non-Christians feel relief when the truth comes out in our society right now about this whole gender war crap that's going on, which Jonathan Kahn believes, and he's stated in Return of the Gods, that's Inanna's doing, that's Ishtar's doing. I could see that. Sure. I could see that too, Helsing. Yeah. Since sin and death was let into the world after Adam ate the fruit, that means the first sin was standing around naked in public and being ashamed of it. Avery asked, wouldn't the first sin technically be disobedience? Ooh. Okay. Here's why, Avery. I could sure I do say that it was the sin of disobedience because it started with Eve, but she didn't have the mind of a child, and she was told specifically what to do and what not to do. You can have any tree, eat of any fruit except that one. Yeah, it gets a little deep. Sin and death wasn't let in the world yet. Ooh, okay. I can see, Helsing, I can see where you're coming from. So let's take a step back from this, actually. I pull up Genesis. Then the man and his wife heard the sound. Actually, hold on. Let me. Yeah, here we go. Then the man and his wife heard the sound of the Lord God as he was walking in the garden in the cool of the day. They hid from the Lord God among the trees of the garden. But the Lord God called to the man, "Where are you?" He answered, "I heard you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid." God said, "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from?" The man said, "The woman you put here with me gave me some of the fruit of the tree, and I ate it." And the Lord said to the woman, "What is this you have done?" The woman said, "The serpent deceived me, and I ate." Helsing, I see where you're coming from, but I will say that God does put their nakedness aside because their conscience does kick in a sense. Their eyes were open, right? But the first sin would be disobedience because this is the thing that has God ask, "What is it you have done?" So it's almost like I would see the nakedness as just another realization, the shame that comes out of that, needing to be clothed. See, it's a sin to be naked now out in front of others because we're, well, for starters, breaking the law, public indecency. But Yeah, Avery, I can see that. Helsing, I've thought about that before. Nothing seemed to happen until Adam ate from the fruit. Of course, they're also a holy union, so for all we know, God waited to see what Adam would do next. Yeah. And Gloria, yeah, you're right. All right, guys, I've been here for almost 2 hours. I'm sleepy, and my kids are still up, so I got to get to them. Do we have any questions before I hop off here? Any questions about demonology? Every time I hit Q, I'm supposed to switch scenes. Okay, it actually worked that time. Jeez. I'm on studio mode on OBS, so like I'm supposed to be able to switch scenes without you guys seeing what scene I have on backup. Oh, it has been a day getting my kids' room set up. Also, my YouTube video, my file got corrupted. I was going to talk about a man who's dating a trans woman. That was such a good video. I'm going to have to redo it. That sucks. Oh, good, Helsing. Glad you're good, man. Oh, man. But in conclusion, understand darkness is the absence of light. Understand that, understand where we are in the battlefield. Understand that perversions are not creations. I think that's an important one. So death is not a creation. It's a perversion of life. Darkness is not a creation. It's a perversion of light. It's the absence of light. Just like death is the absence of life. Darkness brings death. Sin is to be outside of the will of God. So sin is the absence of God. Sin is not a creation. Sin is a perversion. Understand that, and you will be much further on your path to demonology. Understanding the enemy will allow you to understand God that much more because the enemy is everything that God is not. Process of elimination. Thank you, Avery. What is Lilith? Ooh. Ooh. Lilith. So let's actually. Isaiah 34:14 in the KJV says, the wild beasts of the desert shall also meet with the wild beasts of the island, and the satyr shall cry to his fellow. The screech owl also shall rest there and find for herself a place of rest. ESV refers to this screech owl as a night bird, night creature, so maybe an owl, right? But then, like, MSG says, the night demon Lilith, evil and rapacious, repish, oh, whatever. Anyway. So, yeah, it can be a can of worms. I don't believe there is one Lilith. I believe that there is. I don't believe there is like the Lilith. I believe that there is a type of demon that is known as a Lilith or a Lilith. If we actually go to Isaiah 34:14 and in the Hebrew, and we go down here, the night creature. This is where we get Lilith, the true Lilith. NAS says the night monster will settle. That's an interesting one, the night monster. KJV, the Screech Owl, the INT, the Night. So just the Night. And there's only one occurrence. And the Old Testament does that a lot, by the way. So, yeah. That's the true Lilith. Lilith was not Adam's first wife. That is mythology. That is an offshoot of Jewish mythology, if I'm not mistaken. I think Jewish. Thank you, Avery. Guys, don't forget to hit like on this stream. Hit the notification bell for all of my videos. My Justin Timberlake video is still under dispute. That's unfortunate. I was supposed to have a video out recently. But I corrupted the file. So I got to do it again. I'm learning on DaVinci Resolve, and I overwrote the file. I don't want to talk about it anymore. So upset about that. It was done. It was done. Anyway, guys, I think I'm going to get off here. Yeah. You need to be in bed, little dude. You want to say goodbye to everybody before I get off here? Here's the camera. This camera.
Okay. So, like.
Say bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Gloria, Avery, Helsing, Falker, and everyone else watching the stream. Katie. John, stop. Gloria. All of you. Hey, not nice. Hey, time out. Not nice. Not nice. Oh, and Cheeseburger. I just noticed you, man. I missed your message. I missed your comment. Take care. God bless.
Oh, look, he made three. You made three.
Yes, I did. All right. Good night, guys. Appreciate you. Big time.